Breach versus Eugen. Chase 1, Eugen of 80.
With Xavi going all the way for Breach and setting a record that will never be beaten. 8 points, 8 consecutive evasions. Whereas this Eugen team, they shared it around in their opening win in the quarterfinals. And Richard Thompson, who picked up a couple of points, leads off for them, looking to get them on the scoreboard early. And he goes through the mountain, very nicely done, round to the tilted cube, now cross court, and time is ticking away under the ridge, and that is a lead-off point. Richard Thompson, once again, putting the points on the board for Eugen.
Let's go, team captain, star player at this point. I have seen Richard training World Chase Tag for a number of years. That was some masterful tag right there. He managed to evade Ed Scott, who is a powerhouse, all the way around the quad with good tactical decisions.
Chase 2, Eugen evading. 1-0, Eugen.
Athletes ready!
Well, can he double up Richard Thompson? Looking to be Eugen's MVP here as he goes up over the mountain and into the tilted cube again, stamping down on that platform, and then again moves through the mountain so sweetly, so sweetly, and a dive, but it's just not enough. Can't grab the foot or the ankle, and then a slide, but that won't count. That will not count.
Was it foot? Was it hand? It looked like foot to me.
I think it was foot and then hand. A tag with the foot does not count.
Yeah, and look, Richard himself has said right here, it has to be a hand. Adam bringing him back in.
I don't even know if the foot did make contact, but if the hand made contact, it was only after the light went green. You can see he slides through, the foot is not enough, and then the hand surely, that is after the 20-second is up. The verdict is evasion!
Evasion, let's go Richard! 2 in a row to start off this semi-final match.
Chase 3, Eugen evading. 2-0, Eugen.
Athletes ready!
Well, he didn't get any experience in the quarterfinals because it was the Xavi show, but Richard Thompson certainly shown what he's about so far at the UK Championship, and it's round by the tilted cube as the bearded McKee chases him down. And he's got some speed, but he's not closing that gap because Richard Thompson, it might be a hat-trick, it's gonna be! He leaves him flailing on the ground!
Jeez, I am so happy for Richard right here. I've seen him work his butt off all the time at WCT, has been away due to all of the lockdowns and things like this. He has been there with his team, making the most, training different disciplines, and making sure he's got not only his power style, his tactical style, but his scrambling is up as well. And now we're seeing it all come into effect.
Chase 4, Eugen evading. 3-0, Eugen.
Athletes ready!
Xavi, he's already set a record that will not be beaten, but can he help turn this game around against Richard Thompson and Eugen? Well, he has made the tag, and there might have been a bit of bumping around like a pinball in there as well.
You know what, for me, it's not even the tag, it's this. Check this. That is such a good amount of herding. Striding on rails is hard enough, but to stride and reset all of your body language to tell someone you're going up the mountain.
Case 5, Breach evading. 3-0, Eugen.
A fired up Andy Tomin on the plate, looking to re-establish Eugen in this semi-final. Can he chase down Xavi? Oh my word!
And he's back up, he's back up! What is that? Xavi's reaction as well!
And the tag is given. Andy Tomin, a man who insisted that he was no longer sketchy.
Holy, where was the tag?
Has basically fired himself out of a trebuchet to launch himself halfway across the quad, fire his head into the floor. What is he doing?
I have never seen any. Oh, that is not even a diver, that's a scorpion. He just bailed on the border. All of the reactions there in the emerge free zone is crazy.
Chase 6, Eugen evading. 3-0, Eugen.
Athletes ready!
I don't know anybody had to do anything like that at any point, but Andy Tomin is a man who is not bound by your rules. And off he goes. He is fired up. And he is a ball of rage here, Andy Tomin, but he's one that's tracked down in that far corner by the loading bay.
I mean, you got to ask yourself, after a bail like that, what are the odds on you getting an evasion? Thinking clearly, actually having that capacity to think clearly and make the right decisions.
Chase 7, Breach evading. 3-0, Eugen.
Athletes ready!
This is Dane back on the quad, looking to track down Ed Scott. Does a lot of his work down low, but right now he's looking to get a bit of height, Dane, and he's been sold a dummy there as Ed Scott goes up to the sisters and, oh my word, just hops off them, getting out of the way of that outstretched hand. And again, Dane hopping in and out of the tilted cube, but not really forcing an opportunity as Ed Benny Hilling around the front line there. And that may be the start of a fight back from Breach.
And not only that, like seeing Ed Scott here, that was the quickest feat I've seen. Usually I'm seeing Dane do this. He'll like hop up and down. He'll do like a little running man thing to not telegraph which way he's going to go. Ed Scott here doing that exact same thing again and again, even with the mistakes he was making.
Chase 8, Breach evading, 3-0, Eugen.
Athletes ready.
Impressed Haroon, a nod of the head, and now he's chasing down the man Ed Scott, who goes under the mountain. And round by the tilted cube, Haroon, a man who has never ever been evaded in World Chase Tag, and that's not going to change right now, because Haroon, as he always does, gets his man.
But he is your man if you need someone to do the chasing and get that tag.
Death taxes and the octopus-like arms of Haroon Hanafi. But can he get an evasion here just to re-establish that gap? And look at how he burst into life to go under the ridge. And then back round the front line, and again a bit of the taunting, bit of the goading that is part of his makeup. That's just how he plays this game. And he might, oh my, the victory bees, and it's enough for Haroon, who adds another point to Eugen's tally.
I love seeing the showmanship. I've got to admit, like, I've got a special place in my heart for Haroon. Look at his peace signs coming over the ridge, and then just stands there like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I know I've got the time. He's not even watching the clock. He just feels it. He knows the points coming his way. One evasion down. Let's see if Eugen can make that 2 in a row.
4-0, Eugen.
Athletes ready.
The other Spanish member of the team for Breach, Aniello, come over from Spain along with Xavi. We've seen what Xavi can do. What can Aniello do? Well, he can make the tag very, very quickly, it turns out.
Yeah, Aniello did real well. He did real well, but I'm going to put this one down on a guy called Tom Taylor. This is their coach, right?
4-1 to Eugen. It is a commanding lead, but can it be cut here? Aniello sets off under the mountain. He's not really turned on the jets just yet. Doesn't need to, because there's a bit of space and he can hang around here by the loading bay, and again scoots under the mountain and now goes cross-core into a very open area, and there was a tag potentially. It's certainly claimed. The lights go green, evasion given, but oh, now they're red. Now they're red. Tag given, but this may be another disputed tag review. Well, close, isn't it? Would you concede that?
That's a tight one for me. I don't think I could make this call, and that is why I'm not on the ref board here, especially because he's committed everything to make it over there, to get over that front line. Oh, his head's in the way of the camera, but I'm going to say that looks like a tag to me. I'm not sure.
It's almost like he's reaching out to grab him. His arm hits the plate, hits the board, right, and it knocks it up over his shoulder.
Shanks his elbow up slightly, yeah?
Is that what's happened? This might be an evasion. All eyes in York Hall on the big screen, where this is being replayed over and over and over. It's decision time. We have a decision. Which way is it going to go? Evasion given.
Wasn't a clear enough tag. And he's got his hands up in the air. He's not. Eugen are not liking it here, but the game must go on.
Ace 12, Breach evading, 4-2. Eugen.
It is now 4-2. Breach are not out of this, but we are approaching the final few chasers. Haroon Hanafi drops down into the mountain and looks to make the tag, which is something that he always does, and does once more. And Eugen are potentially just one chase away from reaching the final of World Chase Tag for the second time in their history.
Ace 13, Eugen evading. Match point, Eugen.
Athletes ready.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man. That man is Xavi. He won it single-handedly in the quarterfinals for Breach. Can he win it from this position? An almost impossible position. He has to tag Haroon here, and then he has to go on a run of evasions. But the first job he's got to do might be too much for him, because he's trying to get hold of Haroon, and he just manages to do it. There cannot have been long left there.
1 second left. Look at them both pointing at the scoreboard.
If it's going to be the Xavi show, he's going to have to hold off that ball of angry energy that is Andy Tomin, who has already tried to make one chase or one tag with his face. What is he going to do on the quad now? Xavi, ducks out of the way. It's that trademark lean that gets him some space, and he's off and over the mountain, and Andy drops down underneath it. And has he run out of time here? He might have done. He really might, because there's too much space.
That was tight. I mean, you saw the leap that he did go for, and he absolutely needs. Yeah, Xavi's sweet. Xavi said, lips closed, I'm not saying anything, I've just got to do what I've got to do. But Andy was fuming to get in there. You see that first swipe, he come through on the front line. I felt like he was going to punch the guy.
Chase 15, Breach evading. Match point, Eugen.
Richard Thompson to win it for Eugen and reach the final. Xavi has been the hero for Breach in this tournament, but he will not save them this time. Richard Thompson goes through the tilted cube and tags the Spaniard in the back corner to book Eugen's place in the final.